think at the time we looked at probably 2 or 3 different builders, and I think Fiske just stood out to us as someone who seemed to get our ideas and being creative and just open for new things. We wanted to make it really ours and probably looked a little bit beyond the sort of standards, what's out there, and so we kind of just felt he really got what we were after and had good ideas and kind of encouraged us to think creative, so that was just exciting. I think various were more like just a common saying out there. There's a lot of unforeseen things that come up when you renovate, and it is definitely a risk, and we try to play it safe for a while, trying to figure it all out, and eventually we still just decided, all right, let's just risk it and go for it, and that was definitely worth it. It was such a fun and creative project that really stood out for me, that I hadn't even considered it beforehand, that you're actually creating something with a company that is eventually yours and your ideas can be turned into reality, and it's just a really awesome process. And I think the berries are by far not as great as the actual outcome and the joy that it brings, and I guess the pride in a way, like to know this is our home and it is really our home and it's our style and our creativity in it, so it's just nice to have a home that is actually yours. I never thought that this house is going to be so awesome as it turned out to be, and it's a home, it's not a house only, and the goal was just purely initially to house more people in it, but I think I never considered that it becomes so much your home and that you can actually make it something. I think for me, having grown up overseas in Europe, you could sort of bring something in that makes you feel more home in a country where you're not from, and to accents that reminds you of home, away from home, and that definitely it's just awesome. And I think there's no way I can express how much I love this house, because it's just so us, and it just feels so like home, and we just love coming home, and yeah, it's just, you relax in it and people come and love it, and it's just something that we're just forever grateful. I found it really quite smooth in the sense that I felt there's a real good sort of connection, I guess, / friendship probably with Fiske, to realize that he could see the ideas that I had as really good ideas, and to feel I believed in ideas like I had, because I kind of wasn't quite sure, because I'd never done it before and I double guessed myself a lot of different times, but to be actually encouraged and say, yeah, go for it, I can see this looking good down the track, was really helpful, and I think that really made a big difference, and it really spurred me on to actually go bigger and think bigger and get more excited about the creative side of it. And because it was very much a process that was on the go and kind of changed on the go, because being a reno was a bit more, there were more options, I think, with taking a wall out or putting one in, so that really actually on the go we totally changed quite a few things, but it was the fun part, and Fiske always been really flexible and really excited as well about some ideas, and so that was really good. It's pretty much what I probably already mentioned. I think the team works really well together. There's a friendship on site where you feel comfortable to enter the site, you feel comfortable to be there, you feel people are actually interested in how you're doing about it. I think it's a bigger picture than just a build. And I think it also creates friendships beyond the build as well, which is really quite awesome. And just feeling taken for full with ideas, being believed in, being spurred on, just really good communication, I reckon, and always Richard is always very approachable. Also the other builders always were, and nothing was ever a problem. And yeah, you never felt like, oh, shouldn't ask this, or am I a bother? It just always felt like, yes, it's all good, be a part of it, and you're welcome to be a part of it. I definitely recommend Richard and his team purely for their creativity. I love how he's got a really high-end just an eye for detail, and takes pride in his work and makes sure things look good, and there don't seem to be any cutting corners or trying to cover up. Like, there was a real big sense of trust. I find that we knew that he's got it, and he makes sure things are done well, and so I would definitely recommend it already purely based on that there's a real sense of trust, and that he really established that as well, and that he cares about the build, and that he knows his name is on it at the end of the day, and he takes pride in it.